What's going on, Legionnaires, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, and make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out. Now for this video, we're going to be jumping into Batman Detective Comics issue 1037. Now, if you haven't been keeping up with this line, go ahead and check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything going on in this super awesome line. Now, this is written by Mariko Tamaki. Pencils are by Victor Badanovic. And what we've seen transpiring in these lines is Batman hunting down a murderer, not really understanding completely what's going on up to this point, and requiring some help in this investigation. He has Huntress helping him along the way. Now, before we dive into this issue, I wanted to let you guys know we will be covering Batman issue 109. But before we do that, I have to get caught up on the previous issues. So we'll probably do a big video on Batman probably Monday. But with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright guys, so as we jump into this issue, we pick up with the Huntress. The Huntress sitting on the rooftop with the body of Neil Betterman. He is the most recent of murders. The same man who murdered Sarah Worth. And it appears that he was murdered by some kind of parasite. And while Huntress is sitting here on this rooftop, she's in communications with Oracle. And she wants Oracle to try to figure out what exactly this is, because it seems like some kind of infection or parasite has been the culprit for this man's death. And so with this information, she's going to scan it into the database. And Oracle asking where Batman may be. He just took off a few moments ago. And the reason she is asking is because right now the police are looking for him. The police are looking for Bruce Wayne. They're looking for him because there has been a new murder. And as Bruce is making his way back to his apartment, this is when he's intercepted by Deb, asking where he was last night. Because right now the police, they're looking for him. Someone had reported that Lydia was talking to him last night. And now today, she is dead. Last night, Lydia had been murdered. And Bruce Wayne was the last person she had been seen talking to. And so that makes the second woman from this neighborhood. 2 murders in the same neighborhood in less than 1 month. And so that makes Bruce Wayne a prime suspect. And with that, the police approach him and ask if they may talk to him and ask him a few questions. And so they take him down to GCPD at Fort Gray Precinct. And the police, they begin their investigation. They go over all of the details, trying to figure out exactly where Bruce Wayne was last night and what the argument they were having was about. And Bruce Wayne, he informs them that, they had an argument because Lydia thought she saw Bruce Wayne was somebody she obviously couldn't see him with because that individual was dead. And as for his alibi, he tells the police that he's going to have to get the number from the young lady that he spent the night with. And over at City Hall, we have the mayor watching this entire investigation unfold. And while he is sitting here observing everything that is transpiring, Mr. Worth comes storming into the room because he has just gotten word that Bruce Wayne has been apprehended, or is at least in questioning, for the murder of his daughter. And the mayor tries to tell him that he's not going to interfere, that he needs to stay out of this and let the police do their investigation into it. But at this point, Mr. Worth, he is furious, he is livid, and he is just seeing red. And he believes that Bruce Wayne is now responsible for his daughter's death. Now, picking up with Oracle and Huntress, Oracle is telling her that she may have gotten a hit. She may have some information on what killed Neil. And what she found was a bunch of cases of ocular discharge as the result of a parasite. She found 10 cases that look exactly like the images that was sent, including a sample from Sarah Worth's boyfriend, who unfortunately died after he had attacked a ER doctor. But in every one of these cases, it was always fatal. Now this is where we see Hugh, the man working for the mayor. He takes his exit, saying that he's going to go grab a bite to eat. Making his way outside, he goes down an alleyway. Seeing a man arguing on a phone, he slowly goes to start to follow him, staying in the shadows. The man, realizing that he's being followed, looks behind at Hugh and kind of tells him to just, buzz off, get out of here. What do you want from me? And Hugh rushes over to the man, grabs him, and has pure excitement on his face. And Hugh, he says yes. and from his mouth comes a ugly, ridiculously looking parasite that is just protruding out of his mouth. And so whatever has been killing everybody, we have just found it. We have found it in Hugh, or aka Parasite. Now Oracle continues to talk to the Huntress and gives an update on what's going on with Bruce Wayne, because at this point, he's been arrested for the murder. And his case has been flagged as being a special interest to the mayor's office. And getting this information, Huntress, she tries to hightail it across town to Fort Gray to try to make it to the precinct. And inside the precinct, Bruce Wayne is being held, asking if he can call a lawyer, but no one really seems to even care to give him that small luxury. And as he sits here in his cell, he can't help but this place is feeling a quite bit deserted. And on the outside, we see Mr. Worth grabbing a weapon from his arsenal. Not any weapon, but a freaking rocket launcher. And he makes his way up to the precinct that Bruce Wayne is inside. And inside, Bruce Wayne knows that somebody is at least still watching him, because the security cameras are still active. And he can't take the risk of breaking out of prison, especially when he just got arrested for murder. It wouldn't look good. And so he's trying to find his best course of action, but he needs to move quick, because as he taps into the security cams, using this little smartwatch that he has on his wrist, he sees that Mr. Worth is outside. Not only is he outside, but he is wielding a freaking rocket launcher. And before Bruce Wayne can figure out what his next course of action is, Mr. Worth shoots this rocket, and we see the police precinct come crumbling down to the ground. And from a distance, the Huntress sees the building collapse, sees the flames engulfing all of the brick and wood, and standing there with pure insanity in his face, we see Mr. Worth feeling as if he got some kind of justice. And from the wreckage of this building, this is where we see a tattered, a torn, and a beaten Bruce Wayne. His ears still ringing from the explosion. And through the smoke, he sees the figure, he sees the silhouette of Mr. Worth. And Bruce Wayne, he tries to tell him, he tries to say that he didn't kill her. But Mr. Worth, he is seeing nothing but red. He has come to do one thing, and that is to kill Bruce Wayne. And he pulls out his pistol and he starts blasting away at him. Now Bruce Wayne is able to get away. He's able to get away and get into the sewer system. But Mr. Worth, he is still hot on his trail. He is still trying to track him down. But luckily for Bruce Wayne, these are his tunnels. These are his micro caves. And going down into here, he gets into one of his little safe rooms and closes the door behind him. But he knows Mr. Worth is not far behind. He's still in these tunnels. He's come down here and he's trying to hunt him down. Now Batman, back into his micro cave, he's able to get in communications with Huntress, and he tells her that she needs to get Lady Clayface, needs to get her and make sure that she stays secure. And Bruce Wayne has suited up. He is suited up and he is headed out to face off with Mr. Worth. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You know, personally, I am thoroughly enjoying the Batman run so far. This one in particular, it's been a lot of fun because it really is that detective essence of Batman. You really do get that feel of him trying to investigate this, and now while he's investigating it, it looks like someone's trying to set him up for the murder. Or at the very least, they want it to go in the direction where Bruce Wayne is held responsible. Mr. Worth not caring who is responsible, and now Batman working on also limited resources, even though he has dozens of micro caves everywhere. I'm sure if he decided to combine all of those, he would have plenty of resources. But it's really awesome that he has this whole system set up. That way he can be anywhere in the city and be able to have some kind of operations base. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have not yet, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you don't miss any of the awesome content we have coming out. And until the next breakdown.